You had me with that. You had me with that hook, line, and sinker. That is a field of green flags. Okay, being a stalker doesn't look so bad anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's a murderer. Like, he's all of these things, but he's doing it for a cause. You know what I'm saying? I realize now I was being too harsh. So before, I was being too nice when I said I was being mean. Oh, good is that. Hold on, I need to put my eggplant cutlet into the oven. Hey, what's up? Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome back to my channel. And we need to get one thing straight. I filmed this video a while ago, like beginning of February, okay? Because I had just finished editing the Behemoth video. We all know, blah, 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 blah. And I was in a life slump during the entirety, basically, except for the last clip of me doing this reading, because I kind of forgot how to read. I became like markedly illiterate after hyperfixating for 2.5 months. And I tried to get back into it. And as forementioned, I am like, this is going to be my 2024 is going to be my romance year. Okay. And I think 2024 is going to be me trying to analyze how my brain wraps around romance stories and relationships in books. Is that I will bring up things that happened, like say in Check and Mate and in Fangirl Down or Haunting Adeline. And my friends will be like, oh, I don't remember that. I'm like, I can't forget it. It's all I think about. If it's good or bad, they're always like, I do not remember that happening. I'm like, it did. I swear to you, it happened. I absolutely promise it happened. So I don't know what that says. If like love is blind. So if they're loving the book, they just, you know, put their little horse blinders on. I don't know. That could be the case. But this is going to be a very, I know I say the word chaotic a lot. I know I overuse it. And I'm not sorry. I know my voice and face makes it seem like I'm sorry. But this is just because I'm a theater kid. Okay. It is going to be chaotic because I was doing a really terrible job of vlogging and lighting and all that stuff. But listen, we were going through a hard time, okay? So if you want to hear about the books or you just want to see a girl trying to figure out how to read again and do YouTube again, then stay tuned. Okay, in this video, I'm going to be reading Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey because the main character has type 1 diabetes. And if you didn't know, now you know. Oh my God. Wow, that's crazy. This is like the first time in so long I don't have any devices on my arms. I have naked arms. That's crazy. Now I have my Dexcom here, my blood sugar monitor. Oh, and then that's my insulin pump. Not that you can see it. Anyway, I thought that was going to be very much more demonstrative than it turned out to be. So you're just going to have to believe me. Anyway, we're going to read that. And then we're also going to read Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, as well as Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. And Haunting Adeline is a reread because I am reading it for Jordaline's book club. But if you're on our Patreon and you want to go and see, or my Patreon, and you want the link, they'll be on both of those. And I am planning on going into a very heavy discussion because let me show you. Look at the notes. I came prepared, girls. I came prepared. Okay. Let's get into the video and into whatever chaos is going to ensue. Hi. I have no idea if this is a vlog. I don't know what vlog it's going into, what's happening. I don't know. All I know is that I've been trying to read for the last 2 days. I have not read anything in months. Like, it's been so long, and I'm trying to get back into it. And I was reading Magnolia Parks, which of course, stupidly, I went back to the beginning instead of just reading the last 100 pages. I should just read the last 100 pages. Anyway, but it's too serious. Like, that book is too deep. I'm too in it. I love it too much. I want to annotate, or I am annotating. And I'm like, I can't do that right now. It's too serious. So I'm picking up Check and Mate. I just started it. I'm literally on chapter 1. I'm only like a couple minutes in because I was like, let's just listen to an audiobook, something that I literally can't annotate. And I already have something to say. It's that she's 16. He's 18. She's 16. FBI, open up! The record scratch in my brain. Okay, if they were both 16, I would still be like, oh God. But now I'm like, what? He's 8, he just turned 18, and you're 16. We better have a 2-year time jump. Like, we better have a time jump, because if you're telling me that at any point in this book, it is alluded to that they have sex, and he's 18 and she's 16, I'm gonna have a problem.
Are you a pedophile?
Okay, anyway, I literally just started this book. I just had to pop in and say that. Okay, Goodbye. Okay, there's literally in the next thing I listened to was a 2-year time jump.
Oh, thank God.
Ali Hazelwood, I am so sorry. Girl, I am so sorry. I did not mean to doubt you like that. I am sorry, Miss Hazelwood. I'm back on the bandwagon. I am back on the bandwagon.
Perfect.
Oh, hello. I did in fact read more of Check and Mate last night. I've been reading it for 2 days, and I got to 50%. Well, I got to 55%, but then I went to the beginning of the chapter that I was on because I didn't finish it, and now I'm at 50%. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it. I don't like it. One, the younger sisters in the book, because our main character is an older sister, and did I tell you what this book was about? No. A girl did chess. She doesn't do chess anymore. Why? I don't know. Goes to a chess tournament, beats this dude. He turns out to be the best chess player in the world, and now he's obsessed with her. That's really the plot. Okay. But the main character is a older sister, and she has kind of like had to take on the role of like raising them because her mom is severely ill, and I think the dad passed away or left. I think that's going to be like the big like what happened to him kind of thing, and why she stopped playing chess. But the two younger sisters are insufferable. And I get that the way they're acting is realistic. Like, they don't understand money, so they're just like, what do you mean you can't afford it? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think it's necessarily realistic that they're this bratty about it. But this main character's like, you know, she never wants to tell them no. If they want something, she's gonna work like 3 jobs to get it. And I'm like, I think that's annoying. Like, I get that it's realistic, but I don't want to read about it. You know what I'm saying? And then also the love interest, I'm like, I don't get the connection. Like, I don't get it. I don't think that there is one, in my personal opinion. Maybe it's just because I'm just not in the mood. So what I'm going to do right now to try and jumpstart my brain a little is I want to go back to my roots, and I want to do a puzzle. Now, this was given to me by Lori so kindly when she came and visited me. And I very famously do not like any puzzles that aren't Charles Wysocki. So I'm going to give this a go, and I really hope I like it because this was so freaking kind of her, and I don't want to just be elitist and only like Charles Wysocki puzzles. But I'm going to listen to the audiobook and do this while I'm doing my first readings for in like 2 weeks, which is crazy because I usually do like 3 a week. My patrons have been thirsty. They have been starving. Okay. So we've been live for like 2 hours, and I've done 1 sprint. Just started the second one. But yeah, I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to do a time lapse of doing the puzzle because I love watching those. Like, I don't know, it's just so satisfying. So yeah, let's see how far we can get into the puzzle and how far we can get into Check and Mate.
Because we have been working hard right from the very start. Knew we get this far, but now it's time for us to stay out until it's late. We've come a long, long way, so we deserve it, mate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate.
Let me step aside for a second. One, I've gotten to the part in the puzzle where, so I was doing the border pieces, which like, yeah, I know that the border pieces are like not the way you're supposed to go because that actually makes it harder. But listen, sometimes you just want to feel nostalgic and you want to go back to like the childhood days. So I did the border. And then let me show you. I was planning on going and picking out these kind of pieces. But what I do is I get distracted and like confused, not distracted, but like confused on what color I'm looking for. And then I start picking up like this. That's not the same. That's not the same. Like, what about this? I'm just picking up things that are blue ? And then I end up having a bunch of things that I don't know what to do with. Anyway, this is not about that. I wanted to pop in because I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, I will say that at the point that I was at 50%, very soon after that, there was one of my favorite tropes, but not in the gender order that I personally prefer the trope to be in, that happened. And I was like, oh, this is cute. Okay. But not enough to like be like, oh, this is adorable. Let me tell you, Mallory, our main character, is an idiot. She is a dumb in every sense of the word. Like, I'm struggling to think of one single time in this entire book that she has had shown any intelligence at all. Like, any intelligence. One, the guy character, Nolan, he's not just making it obvious, he is saying it directly to her that he's interested, that he likes her. And she still is like, why did he show up for my game? Or why does he want to play chess with me? Why is he looking at me like that?
Bruh. You stupid.
And when she asks the question out loud, like, why are you here? He's like, because I like you. And I'm like, and she's still so confused. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Also, we finally got to the part at like 60-something% of the way in when we find out why she doesn't play chess anymore. And I knew it. I knew it was going to be dumb. And I'm like, lame. That's the reason? That is the reason why you don't play chess anymore. Okay, here's the thing. I get being sad about it, but giving up your entire life, what you've worked for your entire life, all of your time, all of your mental energy, all of your actual physical energy, all of your money and emotional labor for that, like, it's the leap of logic that makes literally no sense of the guilt that she feels. I'm like, oh, okay, I get that guilt a lot of times doesn't really make sense, but usually you can kind of parse out like how you got from point A to B. But this is like point A to Z. Like, girl, be serious. Be serious. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean? So yeah, I don't like that. Also, one thing I'll say that's a notable good thing. Not good, because it's breaking my freaking heart, but she has a relationship, a best friend named Easton, who went to college, and she didn't go to college. And it is, oh my God, it's breaking my heart every time she thinks about, like, she's having new experiences without me, and she's meeting new people, and when she comes back to town, I'm going to be the same person, and she's going to be someone new. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so sad. That's so sad, and it's so realistic, and it's so sad. It's breaking my heart. Also, one other thing I want to say. One other thing before I get back to this puzzle and my sprints, because I have 40 seconds left of this sprint, or this break. The villain of this book, the bad guy, this other chess player, his name's Cock. I'm sure in the book it's probably C-O-C-H. I don't care. It's Cock.
This shit, I'm out.
And the amount of times that she writes his name in the book, I'm like, okay. Like, what? It's just really dumb. It's really dumb and it's really cheap. I love Ali Hazelwood, so I'm sorry for saying this, but like, this book is not good, in my opinion. Okay, I'm sorry. I literally have 5 seconds left. Okay, goodbye.
But now it's time for us to stay out until it's late. We've come a long, long way, so we deserve it, mate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. No obstacles that we faced did ever slow us down. We knew we'd get here, went the extra mile in every race. We are duty bound. We push it right
I'm missing one piece. It was sealed. It's gotta be me. It's gotta be somewhere. I mean, well, regardless. I did it. Look at that. Boom! It looks glorious.
Nice.
I'm a little concerned. I need to start reading some dark romance right now because these contemporary romances, it's okay. It's not just that they're not it. They're bad. Like they're bad. And okay, see, I hate saying that because obviously so many people love both of these books. Like, they love Check and Mate. I definitely like Check and Mate way more than Fangirl Down. Way more. But it still was like, Check and Mate, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It's very illogical. I don't see the connection. I don't see the chemistry. Like, the logic, the main character is just so immature and ridiculous. So there's that. But in Fangirl Down, I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it. Like, Check and Mate, I'm like, okay, 2.5, now 2. Fangirl Down, 1 star. 1 star. Like, okay, for a couple reasons. So, for a myriad of reasons. One is that I'm not even done with it yet. The way I screamed at my phone, because I've been listening to this for so long and I'm only 76% of the way in. What else is supposed to happen? Every single thing besides that epilogue, that we all don't like in romances, but every single thing in a romance has already happened 76% of the way in. I thought we were this close to the end. I thought we were damn well like man on one knee. 76% of the way in, what else happens? There's a third of the book left? For what? Why? Everything has been said. Everything has been done. If you know what I mean. Okay, we were going into kinks. And listen, that's great. I tell you right now, Tessa Bailey, she went there a little bit with some stuff. And while for me personally, it was disgusting. Because for me, not like it's disgusting, like blanket statement. No, for me, in my taste, I was cringing so hard. But I would definitely recommend it to other people, the sex scenes, not the romance. Because, okay, this guy's an asshole. He's an asshole. I mean that. Full stop. He's a dick. Okay? It's not like, oh, he's just grumpy. No, he's a jerk. And like openly admits that and will tell her, like, not like, oh, like you've changed me. No. He's like, I like being like an asshole to everybody but you. And don't get me wrong. There is a time and a place for that where that could be hot. But not like this. Not like I know what I'm doing and I just like being nice to you. And I'm like, that's not hot. Like, you're broken. You are a broken man. And the fact that, the main character has diabetes and I hate it. I really do. Like, I love that there's representation, but the way, it's not me. I'm going to tell you that. It is not me. This girl does not represent me at all. And it's not like I'm saying that Tessa Bailey didn't like do the research, but I hate it because, this is what I hate about it. She is an adult. She is an adult woman. And the way that she's like, I can take care of myself. You don't have to be asking me. Like, you don't have to be looking after me. And I'm like, okay, girl, get a grip. Like, you're clearly not independent. Clearly. And like, I get that her parents are all like hyperactively like worried because yeah, it's a shitty disease. But she is just so immature. And like the fact that she's obsessed with this guy when he literally is an asshole doesn't make any sense. And that she's like, oh my God, what was it about the diabetes where I was like, are you serious? Oh my God. The whole, He literally says that like, oh, you're so brave for having diabetes. I dried up like the Sahara Desert. Are you kidding me right now? It's a cavernous, dry ass cave down there. What? You're brave? I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it. And he says the dumbest shit. He said the dumbest shit. Okay? Like, the thing that I just listened to is that they go out for brunch and he's like, oh, that he gets a mimosa. And he says that he gets a mimosa even though champagne is for women. And then at one point, she's going to get changed and he's like, you're not one of those women who takes forever getting ready, right? And through the entire book, and I say entire book because I'm not finishing it. I read the whole thing. There's nothing else that can possibly happen in this book. It's done. We're just going to keep repeating the same over and over again. But he keeps on bringing that up. Every single time there's a cutaway where she has to go to the bathroom. Oh, she's going to put makeup on. She's going to change her outfit. Anything. He's like, oh my God, Jesus. You're going to take forever. And then like calls her parents and is like, you raised a child that takes 4 hours to get ready. You need to fix her of that.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, it's well and truly, like, it is bad. It's bad. I hate it. I really hate it. What am I going to do now? I should read Haunting Adeline again, because I technically have to do that for Jordaline's book club. And I kind of just want some dark, twisted fun. And maybe I'll hate it. Maybe I'll read it again and realize I was completely wrong and that it's actually disgustingly horrible. Or maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go change. I'm gonna get into sweatpants. Because, oh my God. I need to wash my mouth out of this book. I well and truly hate it so much. It is many hours later, but I want to pop in because I realize now I was being too harsh. Because I thought about it that I was like, oh, there's one part in the book where there's like a angsty mishap that happens because of something that while I was reading it, I was like, well, yeah, obviously. But that's because I know how blood sugar monitors work because I have been wearing one for a very long time and I have diabetes. And then seeing the other character not understand that and there being like some, not miscommunication, but some angsty issues that spawn from that, I was like, that's very realistic. That is very realistic and cool that the author knew that in general, you know, based on whatever research she did. So I thought that was cool. I think the reason why I had such negative feelings toward it, one, I don't like it. I don't like the writing. I just don't like it. But it's not like, you know, poor representation of diabetes. It's that I don't like the main character. And I don't like the way the main character views her diabetes. I don't like the way she goes about it. But that's because I get such little representation to begin with diabetes that of course I will put myself in the character's shoes and kind of want them to act and behave the same way that I do, which they do not need to. There are so many diabetics in this world and they do not all have the same brain as me. So this is a very accurate representation of diabetics, just not my life as a diabetic. So I just felt like I needed to say that because I feel like I was really ragging on the book and I was like, okay, Katie, I think you just don't like this girl. Like, I just don't like her, you know? Anyway, I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of want to pick up Bride by Ali Hazelwood, even though I feel like not liking 2 romances in a row means I shouldn't pick up a romance. Or maybe I should read... Should I read One True Loves? Should I read Bride? I don't know. I'm going to do something. Well, look what we have found.
Thought you'd get away from me, didn't you, my pretty? Nice. You did put up a good fight.
Boom! And it is done. I'm so glad I did not deconstruct this before I found that piece. And I wasn't even looking for it. Anyway, I just thought that you needed the satisfaction of that being complete because I sure did. Okay. We decided to take a 180. So yesterday, I was not feeling the contemporary romance. And I think I mentioned to you that I need to reread, technically, Haunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton for Jordaline's book club, which I'm very excited about. Listen, it's the month of love. It's February. What says that better than Haunting Adeline? Nothing, I dare say. And I was watching Steph Love's Readings Friends. And I was like, I wasn't liking these romances. Should I do like a little 180 and jump into Haunting Adeline? Or should I read like a mystery or something? And she was like, I love chaos. I think you should read Haunting Adeline. And I said, say less. We love a chaotic twist. So I just started listening to it again. I'm only on I'm 2 minutes into the audiobook. Okay. Yeah. I'm listening to it on the speaker of my computer. I don't know why, to be quite honest. Too lazy to go get my headphones, I guess. I'm 2 minutes in. And when I tell you on page 1, it starts with her seeing him outside of her window, like the lightning flashes and she sees him watching her sleep or like watching her in bed. And she says that he's always there. Like he's always watching her. Every night she sees him outside the window. And on page 1, she says that she is just as frightened as she is excited. And she's like, oh my God, I probably shouldn't be this like excited about him like stalking me.
You nasty.
And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. This is what I have to say about Haunting Adeline is that on page 1, we know that she thinks this is a kink or that this is a kink of hers. Do you get why I think this is fun? Okay, I'm sorry. Like, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, we already know that even though, like, yeah, she's not completely insane. She's like, yeah, I'm scared because she doesn't really completely know what he's up to. She's also turned on by it. So in my book, it's fun. Anyway, I'm going to keep reading. the echo. My neighbors, they cannot enjoy me. They cannot enjoy me. Let me move to a place that maybe is not as vocally echoey. Anyway, hi. I am coming to you a little bit chaotically. Just got out of the shower. Obviously. No, I just dunked my head in the pool. Anyway, I christened myself. So I'm reading Haunting Adeline, and there's a couple things I want to say. While I do not get the certified #ick from this book, there are things that give me the ick. Now, when I say certified #ick, I mean like the bar is in hell. The bar's in hell, okay? So before, when I was talking about Fangirl Down and I said I was being mean, I was being too nice when I said I was being mean. I do not like that book. I cannot get over The Champagne is for Women. I can't get over it. I did not like it. Their chemistry made absolutely no sense. There was a power dynamic that like, he was famous, she wasn't. He was rich, she wasn't. He was like powerful and like he was the star and she was the fan. He was healthy, she wasn't. And no, absolutely not. Well, in Haunting Adeline, yeah, like he's rich and he's powerful and everything. But I don't think that she's not in need, you know? Like she's an author, she's living her life, she's doing her thing. And he's just obsessed with her. Not because she's a damsel, because she's not in distress. You know what I'm saying? So the two icks that I had, but listen, it was only two. And it was like 17% of the way into the book. At one point, Zaid, the main male character, says that he doesn't like to read fiction books. He only reads books that will teach him something.
#gross.
I'm sorry. You're obsessed with an author who writes fictional stories for a living, and you're literally well and truly obsessed with her. Like she's your queen, your princess, your everything, and you don't like fiction books? That was the one thing over the murder, over the stalking, over everything where I was like, Adeline, you better walk away. You should probably run. And then also there is one point where he says, oh, he develops a vagina, which is so funny because the rest of the things that Zaid thinks and says are very much an antithesis of that. Like, he'll think like that there's women that work for him that he's like, oh yeah, they're just as good as me. Like maybe even better. Or thinking like, that Adeline can protect herself, but that he knows and is part of a world that she isn't. So she can't protect herself against stuff like that because she doesn't know that she even should be fighting kind of thing. So I like that. And then, okay, one other thing I'll say is that during this whole, like, Adeline finds her great-grandmother's diaries and her great-grandmother is getting stalked by this man and is doing the same thing kind of that Adeline is doing, which she's like, oh my God, I think I get off on getting scared. I think this is like my king.
You nasty.
Her grandmother was murdered, so she's trying to figure out what happened to her or her great-grandmother. The amount of times that Adeline reads a couple pages and then sets it down and walks away. How are you putting it down? How are you putting it down? Oh, finish the fucking diary. Finish it. Like she reads like 2 pages every night before bed. Girl, this is not something to read while you're sipping on red wine. You're trying to solve a true crime that's close to home. And the evidence is right there. That's the only thing annoying me. And I get for the plot, I guess. But like, she should have had another reason why it was taking her so long to read this book. Anyway, okay, I need to go blow dry my hair. And I'm going to continue to listen to this book.
Music in the streets, we're moving to the beat. There's something in the air that makes the city come alive. A breeze that makes you high. We'll be up till late tonight. Love gets another chance. Pretty people holding hands, uplifted by the night. The way that it should be, can let it slip away. 'Cause this might be our final summer day. There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in.
Hi. The hair is dry. It has been blow dried, but technically it's a day later, so it would have been dry no matter what. But I have been taking some notes because I say it's a day later so that you understand that I am quite a bit farther into the book. I've been taking notes because I'm listening to the audiobook, and luckily Jordaline actually wanted to postpone the live show for a week. I mean, unlucky because she's ill, but lucky that she has more time to finish it. And I technically don't have that much more of it left, but I was planning on getting it done, but now I have a little bit more time with it. So this is the most notes I've ever taken for a live show. Like, I'm ready. I am ready, especially because this is my second read. But okay, so a couple things that I wanted to say was that Zayd's like white saviorness, I guess, of like, oh, I'm gonna take down the sex traffickers. I guess being a white savior doesn't really have anything to do with that, but it's the same energy, but like a man, but like, I'm a good guy. It a little tiny bit has that vibe, but I'm telling you a tiny bit, just a little, because honestly, he has a freaking point. He has a point. Like, I cannot sit here and tell you that I do not fully support Zayd and what he's doing. Yeah, of course. Part of me is like, okay, I get that it's like, oh my God, like he's crazy, but he's doing something good. But in reality, he really is doing something absolutely amazing because he genuinely isn't like romanticizing or sexualizing these girls or women, because it's not just girls, it's also women, but he's not romanticizing them at all. He's not viewing them as like, oh, that girl's so pretty, that girl's so whatever. He will look at them and be like, I can't imagine what they are going to see when they go to sleep tonight, or if they're ever going to feel safe again. And I'm like, oh my God, that's good, you know? See, what I like about it is that, yeah, he's a psycho. And he knows that, you know, he knows himself. Kind of, actually. He's not very self-aware. He's self-aware, but not in terms of like that what he's doing is not good, I guess. But anyway, so he's using his psychoness for good. And I love that, okay? Like, yeah, he's a stalker. He's a murderer. Like, he's all of these things, but he's doing it for a cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do love that.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay. There was a quote that Adeline says, or not, she doesn't say out loud, but she thinks to herself. And it's that she's like, oh my God, I think that I'm realizing that I'm attracted to being scared. Like, I'm turned on by being scared. And I'm like, yes. Now, obviously, she's coming to that conclusion after she's already being scared by this person. But then again, actually, now that I say that, she does mention later on than that, when they go to the haunted house, that every year she goes to this haunted house and looks forward to it all year, gets absolutely terrified, and then basically like, for like the entire rest of the night.
You nasty.
So actually, now that I say that, it's not problematic because she did already know that. Maybe she just didn't put the words to it, but she did already know. Anyway, and then also something that I was like, I get it that the bar's in hell. Like, I get that, but like, listen, this is a fiction book, okay? Zayd Meadows is a murderer, okay? You know, like, listen, we could list out all his crimes, but this is a fiction book, okay? And I'm telling you, I get why he's a book boyfriend. I definitely get it, because listen to this. She thinks to herself, he forced me, but I wanted it, and we both knew I wanted it. And I'm like, okay. So it's like, so she's saying he forced me, but in like a kink way. Like, he knew I wanted him to force me. So that was a very interesting way to put that. And then he thinks to himself, I forced her, and that's wrong, right? But she was literally asking me to do it. It's a fine line. Did I overstep it? And I think that is so, like, the fact that he is literally like, okay, did I do something wrong? But like, she liked it. So I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I love that. Like, obviously it's like what is it when it's non-con, but it's like dubious consent, I guess. So it's not non-con, but it's dubious consent. So if you don't like dubious consent, this is not going to be up your thing. I'm up your alley. I'm just telling you what. But okay, let's see. Is there anything else that I wanted to mention? That I love that Zayd is 32. 32, an adult, a grown man. When I tell you, that was the biggest green flag for HD Carlton. I was like, you can literally make this man do anything. And then you said he's 32 years old. And I was like, sold, book's already good. Book's already good. Like, I am so sick of every single character being the same age. I have nothing wrong with people in their like super young 20s. You want to put a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 24-year-old in the book? Great. But why do they all have to be 19? All of them? Oh, I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I don't think that 19-year-olds are the only people that are interesting in this world, you know? And the fact that Zayd is like this guy online that people are literally like thirsting over and obsessed with him, and he's a grown ass man. Love that. I will say though, if this author or this character Adeline says yin yang eyes one more time, even though I know she does because I've read this book before, the different colored eyes, Jordan and I were talking about that, but she was telling me that she was like, I thought I would absolutely hate this. Tell me why. The second they said that he had mismatched eyes, I was like, oh, oh, I'm set. I was like, yeah, sexy. Okay, anyway, I am currently making a little intro page for my latest hyperfixation, which is that I've been annotating this book the entire day. Let me show you how freaking crazy. Look, what is that? What am I doing? Like, I fully cracked the spine. Let's see, where are some other ones where I was like, these annotations are just actually unhinged. Oh, I need to go back. So this is where they, this is not a vlog for this, but I printed out all of BJ Valentine's tattoos. I'm gonna put it in here where they talk about the tattoos, like stuff like that. And then I printed out my little headcanon, my fan cast, and because it's hysterical, I'm gonna put that on there. And then how's the weather parks? There was something else. Oh, a magnolia and beach. So I'm gonna put that on there, and then my tabbing system while I'm listening to this book. That has nothing to do with this video, but if you're wondering what I'm doing while I'm listening, that's what it is.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you doing fine cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be. I see you hesitating while you're waiting, like somebody's gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it, gotta believe it. You gotta go get it for yourself. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Guys, I'm about to be so annoying. I'm about to be so annoying. Oh my God, it looks so pretty outside. That happened, did that happen overnight? Spring has sprung. Oh my God. No, that I'm telling you right now, I have my windows open every single day and it did not, I don't know if it's like actually possible for it to not have looked like this yesterday and to look like it today. Did I just like have my horse blinders on? Hold on, let me show you. Look at this. Oh my God, that is gorgiana. That is so pretty. It looks prettier in person. You're gonna have to trust me. But there, I swear there was like no flowers yesterday. You're gonna be like, that's not possible. And I'm sure it actually isn't possible, but I didn't see him yesterday. Anyway, okay, hi, back to being annoying. Wait, back to being annoying? Bold of you to assume I wasn't just being annoying.
It's funny because it's true.
Anyway, I was listening to more of Haunting Adeline. And I don't know if it's that I'm like seeking out things to enjoy about this book or if it actually just is enjoyable. But okay. Something that happened where I was like, Okay, that was good. How good is that? Hold on. I need to put my eggplant cutlet into the oven. Eggplant cutlet? I don't know. I saw it at the store and I thought, sure. And it's actually really good. Anyway, I was listening to this last night, and when I tell you that obviously, like, we all know, we already told you what Zayn does. He like saves, or he goes and demantles rings. So during one of these, okay, I'm not going to tell you what goes down, even though you can probably assume based on what I just said. But anyway, something bad happens. Things don't go necessarily to plan, and Zayn is really messed up about it, okay? And the thing I do like is that there's an opportunity where him and Adeline can get the freak on, okay? And he says no, he's not going to. And she's like, are you serious? Like, you've been doing all this and like now all of a sudden no? And he says, like, I'm not going to have sex with you with the possibility that I could think about any of those girls, because that's disgusting. And I was like, oh, okay, being a stalker doesn't look so bad anymore. You know what I'm saying? But what I absolutely love is you think that's enough, because honestly, for most romances, that is enough. That being said, he's automatically a hero. But, oh my God, Adeline just shot up the freaking radar for me, okay? Because, not going to say the trigger warning thing, but he's all messed up about this. She looks at him in the eyes and says, blank, 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 happening to her isn't the worst thing that happened to her. It's just the worst thing that happened to you. She literally said, don't make her pain about yourself. Don't make it about you, honey. Oh, I love that. Oh, I loved it. Okay. Let me get back to my eggplant cutlet. I'll see you in like a couple more chapters. Hello, loves. It has been a day and a half, and I have finished Haunting Adeline for the second time, and I'm here to give my wrap up and all of my thoughts that I had for the last chunk of the book. So the first thing I want to say is I really feel like I probably already said this in the video, but I do not really understand the gripes and hate that people have for Haunting Adeline. I get if it's an ick for you, like there's things that you can't get over, like say in Magnolia Parks, like there's the cheating, but then there's also all of this good stuff. And then in Haunting Adeline, yeah, it's a stalker romance and he's a murderer, but she's into it. And he can tell she's into it, and she makes it obvious that she's into it. So it's not non-con, but it is dubious consent. So if that's something you were worried about, but you're okay with dubious consent, go for it. But something that he does, and I'm like, that, you had me with that. You had me with that hook, line, and sinker. That is a field of green flags. Is that he, without explanation, without questions, anything, he just immediately assumes responsibility of Daya, Adeline's best friend, because he tells, from stalking her, obviously, that Daya is the most important person in her life, and that she isn't just like a friend or a best friend. No, they are platonic soulmates. And he doesn't ask questions about it. He's not jealous. He never is jealous of it. He's like, oh, okay, well, this is a package deal. So now Daya is also mine. Not in a sexual way. He doesn't have any romantic feelings toward her. But he's just like, I'm going to protect her. And he tells everyone, like, because he doesn't introduce his like enemies and like coworkers and stuff to Adeline, because he doesn't want them to know that she would be a target with them. So he tells them when they find out about Adeline, he's like, if anything happens to Adeline or Daya, you will die. I will come after you and I will kill you and everything you love. And I'm like, I love that he always brings Daya into it. And I'm like, we love girl on girl friendship. We love it. And then also the cutest freaking thing with Daya and Adeline is that they split holidays. So every year, like they'll spend maybe like Thanksgiving with Daya's parents and then Christmas with Adeline's parents. And I'm like, that is so freaking cute. That is so cute. I love that. Oh my God. I'm just like, I know that I'm obsessed with friendship, but that was cute. Speaking of Adeline's parents, during that phone call, her mom is like, oh, I've got to go. I need to make dinner for your father. A father? When did she have a dad? What are you talking about? We are like 75 pages from the end, if not less than that. And he has not been mentioned one time in this 500-page book. It's always her mom, her mom, her mom, her mom. I was like, I thought she was a widow or a divorcee. Why bring up the dad now? Also, if her mom is such a shit, where has her dad been? What kind of person is he? I just thought that was so weird to add that in. Like, why even say that? He's been nowhere. And that would have made sense for you to mention him if the mom is such shit, because it doesn't make sense not to mention the dad, because what is he doing about it? Does he agree? Does he just not say anything? Does he disagree with her, fight with her about how she treats Adeline? Anyway, I know I'm harping on that, but it just got me because I was listening to the audiobook and I paused it like, a dad? Since when? Let me read you a couple quotes that I wrote down where I was like, if I had this physical book, I might have tabbed it, might have annotated it. One bad one, because we're not just going to sit here and only talk about the good things, okay, is that Zayd's dirty talk, it goes from, oh my God, to, no. He says, call me God. Yikes. Big yikes. But there's some good stuff, okay, is that she is running from him because, she likes to be scared. She likes to be chased. Okay. She likes the horror. And she thinks to herself, I'm not running from him anymore, but instead from the person I'm going to become when he's finished with me. Okay. 1, that's hot. 2, it's a villain origin story. Love that. Another quote that I was like, Zayd, okay, is, I don't remember who he's talking about. It's one of the girls that he ends up saving. And, no. It's because the group of guys are talking about the way that this girl was dressed. And he thinks to himself, like, showing any amount of skin means you should get sexually assaulted or killed. And I was like, a man written by a woman? Oh, okay. And then this is where I say that half of his dirty talk is like cringe and then the other half is gold, okay? Is that, and this is, well, it's not dirty talk because he thinks of it in his head, but like still. She calls him baby, and that shocks him because she's never said anything like that. And it says, I'm surprised she thought calling me baby would calm me down, when what it actually does is make me want to flip her over and shove her face into the bed and fuck her till her head comes out the other side of the mattress.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, that's crazy. And then so this is, he actually says this, okay? So this is actually dirty talk, is when they're having sex, and the first time, they've done a lot of sexual stuff, but the first time that it's P and V, okay? And she, takes him full Monty. There's a couple seconds of that. And they're like, oh my God, this is so great. Then he stops. Just, oh my God, I'm going for it. Stops. Looks her in the eyes. Dead still. Looks her in the eyes, cold as ice, and says, little mouse, run. She jumps off of that dick so fast and she bolts like it is her job. She is Usain bolting out of there, okay? And I loved that because it was like, it really brought it full circle of the whole, stalking, chasing, whatever, where that's what they were doing in the beginning and in the middle. And I think that people reading it would think like, that's terrible. And then in the end, you're like, they're doing the exact same thing, but with obvious consent because it is what they like. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end it, I promise. But I will say that there's a little girl that he saves, and he's waiting for a female employee to come and take her to the next location because that's something where I was like, that makes a lot of sense, is that he only has female employees of his and workers or whatever take them after the deed is done because he's like, I don't want a man to frighten them or anything. So he's waiting on a woman to show up, and he's talking to this little girl, Sarah, and they just connect, and she's obviously afraid because of all this stuff going on, and he saved her, and in a little kid's head, like, that's her hero. So she's like, can I go home with you? Like, I don't want to go somewhere else. I want to go with you. And he like is touched by that. And she basically asks him like to be her dad because her dad's dead. And his reaction, one, is very sweet because he's like, oh my God, I can't believe that she wants me to be her dad. Like, and he thinks to himself, I'll have to ask Adeline. And I'm like, okay, one, I love that even though he's like, I'm this macho man, you know, blah, 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 that he's like, no, that's a joint decision, okay? And then he does ask Adeline because like he goes to her and he's like, this little girl asked me to be your dad. And she's like, oh, what did you say? And he was like, oh, I just said I'd have to ask you. And she's like, you know, it's a little soon. I don't know about that. And he's like, fair. We'll wait. But just know, I'm willing. And I was like, that is respect. Okay. And I love that she didn't say yes because that would, honestly, I would have hated that if that's how it ended. Well, not hated it because Sarah's really cute, but that would have just been way too much for the end. Like, oh, and now they have a child. No. Anyway, I'm going to give it, I kind of want to give it a 4-star because of the things I really liked about it. If I was not being critical and I was not on BookTube, I would give it a 3.5. But because I'm being critical and I'm defending it so much, I'm going to give it a 4, which is a bump up from the 3 or 3.5 that I gave it the first time I read it. So I'm going to go into the outro now. So if you've gotten this far into the video, 1, thank you. 2, why? 3, if you don't have anything that you want to comment and you want to leave an emoji, then leave, I was going to say the golf club, but I didn't like that book. What did we leave for Haunting Adeline? Oh, a mouse. Duh. Leave a little mouse, okay? So leave that down below. If you want to follow me on Goodreads or Instagram or Patreon, in which I do so many reading sprints over there. So many. It's actually kind of crazy. Then you can follow me down below. I would really appreciate that. Make sure to like this video and also to subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, because why would you not be? Why would you want to just risk it, risk it for the biscuit of missing a video when you could just subscribe and see it on your homepage whenever I make one? I mean, the logic is logicking is all I'm saying. Okay. I hope that you are having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you are currently having it in. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.
The library, darlings. Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
That's right.
You could try to play it, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next?